Awesome, man. Great to connect with you.
Yeah,
Like
great to
in
connect with
video.
you as
I've
well.
seen your videos. You're on my Instagram feed all the time. So I
Oh
see you all
yeah.
the time.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That's great, man. Thanks. Yeah. So it's great to connect. I obviously I love the product, and I've gotten so into this repurposing stuff. I've built my entire test prep thing around it, and I now want to take the meta level of what I've been doing, and repurpose is a big part of that, and bring it to more and more people because I think there are so many people who aren't squeezing enough value out of what they create. And so, since you're the guy, I mean, you built this incredible system that makes it so easy. It's no code. Like, I would love to learn more about what drove you to create this in the first place. What are some ways you see people using it? And I'd love to share what I'm doing with it as well.
That's perfect. That is perfect. Yeah. I mean, so it's a new show that you're starting now,
Yeah, so I'm
like
starting. Yeah, I'm starting a new.
podcasts
Yeah, so I'm
slash.
starting a new business around this. It has a
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
channel and podcast, social as well, called
That's
10x Engine,
awesome.
and because I think that repurposing is one of the biggest things that can 10x a business. People create one piece of content. If they just leave it there, they're missing out. But you can
Yeah.
level up what you're doing by taking all those different things, and all those different, taking it into all those different mediums and all those different platforms as well. So video into audio into clips and such. Text as well is a big part that people can add on, although it's more difficult. But it
Yeah.
doesn't even stop with digital. There's more places one can go after that, but maybe down the line. But for now, I think video is the best starting point. So
Yeah.
I know that you actually
100%.
start with podcast stuff, though, right?
No, I mean, I've always wanted to start my own podcast. I haven't done it yet, but we're going to start one we're thinking about interviewing customers like you, like people, and just telling their stories about it. It's just one of those things like, okay, we got to start, and then like, oh, let's build this feature, let's build that feature. But yeah, no, I'm always a big fan of starting with video, like you're doing, because once you have video, you can do a lot more. If you're doing audio, it's great. You can still repurpose into videos, but if you start with video, it's just more value. You get video, you get audio, you also get face-to-face clips as opposed to like the audiogram, which is cool, but it's not the same as seeing someone's face.
Yeah, and the
So
thing with
definitely,
video as well is that if you record with video, you can then also remove yourself from the equation as content creator immediately and leave everything else to other people and to other systems as well, right? Like if I
yeah,
record a video, I could then give to someone on my team and say, like, upload it to this Dropbox folder. And then,
hmm
like magic, the podcast is there. The clips can be there as well. Someone from the team can go through it and choose the snippets. They can then get
right,
transcribed and edited, all without the content creator's involvement after that point. If you start with text, if you want your voice to be associated in the podcast, you then have to read that. If you want it
yes,
to be the face on camera, you then have to record that and try not to look like you're reading it at the same time. So it
right,
becomes a bit tougher. I find that you can make text look great from a transcript with some editing, but even the script from the edited blog post to then read that, it won't feel the same. You have a
no,
lot
no,
more
it's
liberty when you're just talking.
it's got to be the other way. Yeah, you got to make the
Yeah.
video and then get it transcribed, and that becomes your text. Actually, that's something we're working on at Repurpose. We're integrating our own. We're evaluating a transcription engine inside Repurpose so that
Ooh,
you
that's
can just.
exciting.
So I see the vision of going video, whatever interview, get it transcribed, push it to WordPress, push it to your blog, or maybe push it to other platforms automatically. Or when you do snippets, the captions are there. So relying on Otter and others is okay for now on Facebook, but having our own is probably what we need. We need it. It's just a matter of we're getting to it actually, and this year, like it'll be
That's
this
really
year.
exciting to hear.
I've
That's really
already
exciting to
I've,
hear.
I've already evaluated myself and like this is awesome. So yeah, it's gonna be good, and so many good things cooking up. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. Excited for next year.
Oh yeah.
I love the possibilities, man. There's nothing. It's like every time, like, oh, we can do this. Oh, let's do that. I
I mean,
wish we had more
you can do
horsepower.
everything. I mean, yeah, you just need more time, right? But I love that you're going
Yeah,
to transcriptions. I think that's the biggest missing piece right now.
yeah. We're relying too much on. You gotta break the automation. You gotta go out, get it transcribed, push it back in, or rely on Facebook, which is hit and miss. YouTube's again hit and miss. You can repurpose from YouTube now, but the captions are there, but sometimes they're not there. Sometimes they're not great. So having it in, and I'm hoping the ability to edit and clean up inside of repurpose, so you can just kind of make that your starting point, just your kind of like control panel where you can manage everything, schedule everything, fix up transcripts, do everything inside of Repurpose. That's
Exactly.
the vision, and I think we'll get to that part this year.
It's exciting. I'm so psyched for that. Yeah, I'd love to have it all in one place. So let's bring it back to start off. Let's bring it back to the beginning for you, Hani. Where did repurpose come from?
For me, it was I was always I'm a video guy from ever since I was a kid. I'm always the guy who took all the video footage from little cameras that we used to have back in the day. And I used to love editing videos, and because you can all sit around as a family, watch, our vacation in like a 2, 3 minute summary, right? So I've always been a video guy. I'm a software engineer by study. And just, I was blogging about video way like, I think 10 years ago, teaching people a video. I learned about YouTube and, marketing stuff. And then one day I was like, man, I'm a software guy. I love video. I need to build a tool for video people. And that's all I knew. And that was like the light bulb moment. And then I knew that was the right path. I didn't know what the software was. Fast forward 6 months later, I figured out, okay, you know what? One thing I do a lot is I take YouTube videos and I put them on my WordPress site, and I would go copy the embed code and blah, blah, blah. It was just a lot of manual steps. And that's when I decided I'm going to automate this. And that's going to be the first software. So I worked on it a little bit, has a contractor help work with me. And I showed it to a few people in the space, and they're like, oh, this is really cool. And they showed it to their audience. And that's how we got started. I got this WordPress plugin that put videos, embedded YouTube videos on your blog. Fast forward a year later, podcasting was, I would say, becoming mainstream. It was becoming more popular. And the person I was showing the video tool was, hey, can you make a podcasting version of this? Can you pull podcasts to your blog? I said, yeah, I think we can. A year later, boom, next product came out. And then fast forward a year later, Facebook Lives were coming in. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a Facebook Live version of this plugin. It takes Facebook Lives, put on your blog. So I was always concentrating on putting automation into your WordPress site. And then we built enough users and customers, and they loved the automation. And they said, you know what, Hani, can you take it to the next level? Can you go from one platform to another platform? Like, can I go live on Facebook? Can you send it to YouTube? Or can you take my audio, turn it into a video, send it to my YouTube channel? And I'm like, that's outside my comfort zone. I'm a WordPress guy, but enough people said it. I said, you know what, I'm going to tackle this. And that's how Repurpose was born. It was just like, let me hack something together, get the right people to help me out, and let's prototype this idea. And I was a big fan of Zapier, and I love how they have workflows and automation. So I modeled a lot of Repurpose about, it's a workflow based system. We have one in, one action, one out. And yeah, the first thing Repurpose ever did was take an audio, turn it into a video, and upload it to YouTube. And once I saw that, it was just like, let's go. This is it. This is to me the dream. Like, this is my goal, my vision. It's coming to life. And then now it's way more than that. And now we can go to all the platforms, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Just it grew from there, kind of evolved from there. But the first thing was just taking an audio, turning it into a video, and having it uploaded to YouTube automatically. And I was like, wow, awesome.
That's so cool. I love that because there's two things going on there. Well, more than two things, actually. One thing is you're transforming medium. Audio becomes video. You're also letting a podcast, which is typically going to be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and the others. But now you have YouTube as another platform. So you get new audience, you get a new file format. And so that video is on YouTube now. But theoretically, somebody could then take that same MP4, now put it other places too, anywhere that video can go, right? So you're really giving people the ability to create audiograms, which can then go so many other places, like social media. Audiograms are big. And now you have like the waveforms, which is super cool. It really feels alive, which is fantastic. And now you're going video to audio as well. Like we were saying before, like video is a great starting point if you can do it, which means then you can now, if you have YouTube videos, if you release regularly, you've got a podcast. It's there waiting to be created, and you can reach, again, a totally new audience. Plus, new file format, MP4 to MP3, theoretically, audiobooks could be in the mix.
Right. Yeah. The beauty of Repurpose, it's we had an idea in mind. Let's help content creators get their content in the right format and also published to the platform. So initially it was just YouTube, and then people wanted, Twitter, people wanted Instagram. And we just kept growing from there. And it's not only like your typical social media app. It's not like you upload a file and then we send it here. It also has the ability to turn, like you said, audios to videos, videos to audios. Take videos, make them square, make them vertical, so that they're the perfect shape, size, and also the perfect duration as well. You have ability to make clips, which is really important because social media platforms don't want long content these days, like Instagram 60 seconds, Twitter 2 minutes, 20 seconds, etc. So yeah, the ability to resize and also shrink the time. But all this kind of evolved over users, like users like yourself and others just telling us, hey, can it do this? And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's see if we can do that. And then it just evolved. But we started really simple. So anyone, I don't know, thinking of whatever you're creating a course of, whatever you're in, you always got to think small. Like think what am I trying to design here? What's the objective? But build something quick, get it out, and get feedback. And that's how Repurpose is evolving. It's not us coming out; it's the users telling us what they want.
Yeah, one thing I've always so much appreciated from you is that you're always so open to feedback and ideas. I'm constantly pestering you guys like, hey, like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be on this platform, I need this file format. Like, can we make it happen? And if the APIs allow it, I typically find that you do it, and you do it pretty fast, which is incredible. It's so useful. I mean, you're doing things that Zapier doesn't even have. Like, they could, but they don't. And you mentioned Zapier earlier. I mean, I've gotten on Zapier as well. I got to say, though, it's not nearly as user-friendly. Like, they are responsive, but in terms of just the user experience, they say it's no code, but it typically requires a little bit more technical knowledge than something like your platform, which is so amazing. Like, I jumped on yours. I was like, I want every connection, every automation, every workflow, the in, the out. It's magic. Zapier requires a little bit more. I had to like hire someone to help me sometimes as I get deeper into levels of it. But I mean, what you built is so easy. And what's cool about it is that, like you said, the platforms, like, I want to be on every platform, and you help make that happen. You've got the connections, and you've also got the ability to get me the file formats that I need in the right dimensions at the right duration. So all the pieces fall into place.
That's awesome. Yeah. And we've been like, I'm a content creator myself. I've always been content creator. So when we designed Repurpose, it was for content creators, whether you're doing audio, whether you're doing video, it was for creators. So it's not about taking Word documents and do like Zapier is more generic and it's amazing. I use it for automating parts of my business as well, but I wanted this tool to be for content creators, whether you're audio or video, it doesn't matter. This is for you. It's, from a content creator to another content creator. So it's always focused on the content and how to convert it, distribute it to all the platforms. And, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of exciting things coming up as well to just automate more. Sometimes just even the small things that you automate. I always tell people, if you have these systems in place, whether they're software, whether you have help or both, combination of both, you can focus as a creator your energy on creating the good content, knowing that all I got to do is create, and the software / my team will help take it everywhere else. Your energy is on creation, and that's the most important part. If you have to worry about converting it, and rendering the video, and then editing, and then uploading, you're like, man, I don't want to make content. Every time I make content, I'm making more work for myself.
I fell into the exact same problem when I didn't have things like, when I didn't have a service like yours. It was like, I'm manually having a video editor help me do stuff, and I got to wait for him to get back to me. I got to devote budget to it, and then it takes longer. And like, I started to dread creating more because I knew all the work that would have to follow from that. Exactly. And I was like, that's so frustrating. But then when your stuff came along, service came along, I was like, this is amazing. Like, I don't actually need to log in that much. It's the funniest thing. That's how automated systems work, right? Like, when I log in, it's usually because I'm either doing something outside of my normal workflows or I'm adding something new into the mix. But once that workflow is turned on, I'm good to go. That's it. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. I love hearing that.
No, it's the best. It's the best. And the Facebook group, the community is so active, so supportive, and you are always in there helping out. You got your team helping out in there as well. And it's just great to see how devoted you are to continuing to build it up, like you talked about earlier, like adding in editing, transcriptions. That'd be incredible. I think that part is a bit tougher sometimes because sometimes people want to edit stuff, But then you get the SRTs, then you get the captions, and then you get
Hmm.
everything else that can come from written material like books, blog posts, emails, articles, ebooks. The list goes on. Like it's just incredible to be able to add that final piece in and then get that stuff to the other platforms beyond just social media in terms of even other kinds of paid products too.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Like, to me, this is like, as a creator, this is like the dream product that I wanted, and now I get the opportunity to build it. It's odd. Like it's just a, you know, it's exhausting at times, obviously, to keep up and keep building. But to me, it's like this is like my passion, and this is something I wanted for myself. I wish I had this tool way back. Now I get to build it. This is even cooler. Like,
No, it's incredible to be doing what you're doing, and I'm just so glad to be able to help get the word out about it and be part of the community because I think what you're building is incredible, and I just love using it. I just love using it. I love being able to say, hey, like this new social thing came along. You're like, yeah, I've already looked into it. So it's like it's cool to see
mhm,
what's in the mix here. So I'm excited for what comes
yeah,
next. You want to take
that's
a moment to
awesome.
just like plug your site and anything else you got going on?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you want to try it, if you're into creating audio, video content, you want to distribute it to multiple platforms and kind of turn one single piece of content into like 20, 30 pieces of content, you can check out repurpose.io and you can try it for free. We got a free trial. You can publish 10 videos or audios for free and really experience it. That's what it's all about. But once you set up your systems, once you experience it, you'll feel like, okay, this is going to work for me or not. And we also have a free course as well that kind of walks you through how, if you're an audio creator, here's all the different settings you want to do. If you're a video creator, here's how you want to set up all your workflows. And that's also included as well in the trial.
Sweet. Well, I definitely encourage folks to check it out. And anywhere this goes out, I'll be sure to put the link in the title and the description just so folks can be aware of it. But thanks so much for connecting, Hani. It was great to finally catch up.
Yeah, likewise, man. Thanks for all your support as well. I mean, like, users like you who are like actively using it and bringing in the feedback, bringing in like, oh, can we do this? Challenging because sometimes, we have a roadmap, but it's like, hey, this is a good idea. Let's put this on pause. Let's pull this forward because, it's also all about the users and the creators. And, I'm a creator as myself, but everyone's got their own way of doing things. And we try to accommodate and make it as flexible as possible.
No, well, it's awesome that you're so open to it. And I remain super appreciative of it. And we'll continue to keep in touch as social media and content's always changing, right?
Absolutely. New platforms come out, new, strategies come out, and we try to help automate that.
Yeah, well, thanks again. Really appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here.